lot of you guys who are watching this are probably already going to know who I am because we had this conversation, but for all of you who are watching who have never seen me before, my name is Dark Dream, and tonight we are starting the first in a series of Enter the Gungeon walkthroughs. Enter the Gungeon is a roguelike dungeon crawler style shooter slash bullet hell game, and there's a lot going on in this game. So we're going to run through the game in its entirety from a brand new save file as effectively a brand new game, pretty much exactly the same way anybody else would see the game when they first pick it up. I'm going to explain everything about the game that I possibly can as we come across it. This is going to include strategies for enemies, general ideas, boss strats, unlocking certain things, just basically everything about how the game works. So, without further ado, let's get this started. So the first thing we're going to want to do is go to the options mode and go to gameplay. Now, make sure you check this box, increase speed out of combat. You're going to want that on because navigating the Gungeon is kind of slow. But the recent update allowed this, so you move faster when you're not actually fighting. It's pretty good. I keep the screen jig to a minimum because I don't like, looking like I'm having a seizure. I keep my controller aim look relatively small so that it doesn't look out too far ahead. You see more of, the camera stays relatively at the center so long as the aim look is not too high, and the higher it is, the further out it looks. You generally want to keep your eyes more on your character than the things that you're shooting at because it's more important to dodge bullets than it is to actually deal the damage. I keep the aim assist low as well, specifically because I believe with some guns, aim assist is kind of ridiculous, and it can kind of mess up what you're actually aiming at. Because if you're trying to shoot somebody that's farther away than the one that's close by, the aim assist will focus on the closer one. Minimap display, you can choose to show the cursor. I recommend putting that on as well. When the game first came out, you didn't have this option on the PS4. It was pretty terrible. And speedrun mode, just so we could have a clock at the top left so we could see it. I'll explain beast mode later. Alright. You know what, we're also going to edit the music volume here, just so you guys can hear my voice clearly. Just so it's easier to make out, because I'm going to be talking a lot in this stream, I should say. So, I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Alright, so without further ado, let's kick this off. So this is what you see when you start the game. You got two dudes, two chicks. I am going to start with the Marine. He's got all these characters. The main difference is just the items that they start with. They each have different perks and stuff. As you play with them, you can just go to the inventory by pressing the touchpad button and seeing what they have. They all have an infinite ammo sidearm. You're gonna need a gun, you can't fight without it, so they all work a little bit different. They have some basic descriptions. A lot of the flavor text is actually hilarious sometimes. It's good to read some of the things that you find. But we're gonna use Marine because he is the most basic character that you can use as far as playing this game. He's just basic skill based. There's not too much else that he has. He has a good sidearm that can actually deal with the first floor bosses pretty good before you actually get any other weapons. He has a supply drop that gives you ammo when you need it, and his passive gives you better reload speed and weapon accuracy. All of these things are good to have. So we're going to start with him. I recommend starting with either the Marine, the Convict, or the Hunter for the very beginning specifically, because we are going to do two things here. We're going to do a complete run from the beginning to the end of the basic boss. And we're going to unlock an item that you need to start getting the true endings for this game. And one of the things you're going to need is bullet-based guns leave shell casings behind as you fire. And it's going to be imperative that we have that for a specific location. So don't start with him just yet. He's the easiest to run. Well, I'll explain him later. But for right now, just use somebody that has bullets. We're going with the Marine. Now, to not waste this time, since this is going to be quite a long run, you cannot go to the actual Gungeon because, unfortunately, they're gonna force you to go to tutorial, which is actually really good. So, we're just gonna hop right into there. Oh, 1 second, you guys. Sorry. Alright. My bad. Okay, so we're gonna get this started. This is the tutorial. He tells you to approach him and press X to speak. You can ignore him if you wanted to. Kind of fun. It is I, Sir Manual. Heed my words and I shall show you how to survive this accursed labyrinth. Continue through the door to begin your tutelage. Whatever. Alright, so you can flip tables. This little thing tells you what things, if you would move. Sir Manual's here. I actually thought this actually had some description. When you flip tables, they can act as a shield to block bullets, and you can push them around. Useful stuff. Alright, so here's where he explains the dodge roll. Dodge rolling is super duper important. It's gonna be one of the only things keeping you alive. You're gonna have a button assigned to dodge rolling. I changed my buttons for the sake of comfort for me. But basically, dodge rolling gives you invulnerability. If you played Dark Souls, you know what's up. The end part of the dodge roll is vulnerable. Like basically the part where he's landing on the floor, but the earlier parts are invul. You can't change direction mid-dodge roll. This ain't Mega Man. Good stuff to know. Alright, so we're continuing. Also, there's pits. You can fall into them if you want to be stupid. I don't feel like doing that right now. Dodge roll over the pits to jump. There are going to be some big jumps later on. Well, there could be, but it is what it is. Onward. This is where he explains the concept of blanks. I'm not reading everything, this takes too long. So, by default, you can click L3 and R3 to activate a blank. I went to the controls and also added circle for a blank. Actually, I think it's default, I'm not entirely sure. But, either way, what a blank does is it clears all projectiles on the screen. Very useful stuff, but you have it has limited quantity, so it's better to just maneuver around things. Alright, blah blah blah, he's gonna give you a gun, saying you're worth baby's first gun, pea shooter. Your level of skill is that of a baby. Alright. That's one of the main gun-dead enemies. They kind of just walk around looking adorable and typically shoot you. But because we're in a tutorial, he's just kind of just being cute. Murder him with literal peas and carry on. Flip tables to block the shots if you really want. This will probably all come into play later, but it's good we can explain this now so I don't have to while we're trying to actually fight for our lives. This is obviously an explodey barrel. You shoot it, it go boom. Explosions in this game actually erase shots. And if you have a weapon that causes explosions, it doesn't damage your character. Could be useful. This guy's a shotgun dude. He shoots a shred of shells. You can dodge roll it or just casually move out the way. This is our first example of an active item. There's a button to press it. Some active items like this one are one-time use. Most of them have a recharge rate. They recharge when you do damage. Alright, so this here's the map. This little green dot on the map is a teleport thing. You can just teleport into it. It's all basic tutorial crap. It'll come into play later, but there's nothing too advanced here. That guy's a bomb. He jumps at you and does bomb things, and he explodes if you kill him. You can use him to kill other people as bomb too. But there's really nothing too fancy here. It's a tutorial. That guy clearly shoots machine gun fire. So we're gonna get into this more later, where you'll see it happening as more crazy, ridiculous crap happens. And this is a brown chest. I'll explain chest later as well. Press triangle to switch guns. You can hold triangle to swap between two. Or multiple. Eventually you could probably get like 20 plus at a time if you're lucky. Oh, and here's another thing to explain here. Alright, so that crack on the wall actually means there's a secret room. In everywhere that isn't a tutorial, there's a certain method to finding secret rooms. I'll explain that as we get to it. But you use a blank to open secret rooms up. And that is the first sign of a synergy. There was a recent update that added like hundreds of synergies in this game, and they make the run. They basically turn this game into more of a Binding of Isaac type of thing, where a lot of ridiculous crap can happen at once. So this is what the pea shooter looks like without the synergy, and with the synergy, now it shoots explosive rounds at a slower rate. And there's another synergy with this, where you get both of these and you get tutorialized. It gives you a rotating shield and more armor than it normally would. Alright, final challenge, blah 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 blah. Boss music, boss fight, fun crap. We're just gonna shoot him with the pea shooter until he dies. Now, this is an example of what the fights are gonna look like later. Basically, the best idea is to casually walk around the bullets. Focus on where your character is instead of where you're shooting at. Because a lot of times people look at an enemy and then just get blindsided by some crap. And just lead their projectiles. So basically, the items we found, they're his body and his old armor. His old friend Blockner, who's supposed to be his partner, decided that he was going to take the glory for himself, shoot him in the back. He found himself in the chest, and yeah, he's still in the Gungeon. So he wants us to go murderate him, so if we find him, we're gonna do that. And that is the tutorial. It teaches you all of the basics you need to know as far as maneuvering around in the game. And then you proceed to try to play the game thinking you're alright and dodge rolling everything and just get absolutely wrecked. Yeah, this is normally what happens. You try to go in there and they're like, no, go learn. But we did, so let's get this started. Alright, so because we did the tutorial, there's not too much I really need to explain on this first floor. That there's a little gun bat. If it's in the shape of a shotgun, they shoot out the two little bullets. A rule of thumb is, if you want money, which you do, don't let the enemies hit you. If they hit you, you can no longer get money from that enemy that managed to hit you. And you're gonna want money. Especially since we're also trying to unlock the endgame bullet that we need. And hi, we have a chest here. So chests have a hierarchy. Brown chests are D rank, blue chests are C rank, green chests are B rank, red chests are A, black chests are S. Higher the rank, better the stuff you get. And a lot of this game is based off of luck. And random happenstance. For example, right? I don't know how I figured this out. I was bored one day. You push this into a pit, you unlock an item. There's also going to be there's going to be a whole bunch of item unlocks as the game goes on. You get I'm not sure why we're getting all these. I guess this is from the recent update that just gives these items to you. You also get more items if you roll over a certain number of tables, etc., etc. Oh, that's a neat little enemy. So this guy, He has a sword made of pure bullets. He shoots that widespread. You can either casually walk around it or just roll through it. The blue shotgun people shoot 2 volleys. Two. Magic people create shapes and throw them at you. Geometry and all that fun crap. It's all walk around. You just make them shoot in one place and then just walk to the other. So this is part 1 of, I'd say maybe 3 or 4. As they go on, we're going to do a lot more here and unlock a lot of secrets and stuff. I mention this because this particular room is precursor to one such secret, but I will cover that in the appropriate video. Alright, so we have these little ghosties. They follow you, shoot machine gun fire, and teleport to the location. Just lead their shots, create spaces for yourself. Unlike most roguelikes, you have a lot of control over where the bullets are going. I mean, not roguelikes, like, unlike most bullet hells. You have a lot of control over where the bullets are going and where they're coming from. So it's really easy to just casually manipulate the crap out of everything. And we have a heart. A new feature in this game is that you can save heart pieces for later. You just press X over them and we have an HS. That's beautiful. We're gonna come back to that. But yeah, you can save hearts, and then there will be a little vending machine that has all your saved hearts that you can just pull out of if you ever need it. You can only use it if your hearts are damaged though. Yeah, I forgot to roll over these tables. And here we have a shop. You can buy stuff if you really want to. We're gonna save our money though. Do not spend your money on the first floor. We are trying to unlock something and you can't do that if you're spending money here. But as the shop goes on, the prices increase by per floor a certain percentage. I'm not entirely sure the exact numbers here. But sometimes they sell basic crap like regular shotgun, and other times they sell ridiculous S-rank stuff. This here adorable little salad fingers guy is called the Selcrete. He will sell you things if you drop them down the hole. The item that I have can replenish my ammo for a weapon, but I'm probably not going to need it, so let's just take that cash. Splendid. Alright, we're going to carry on. As example of the teleporter earlier, let's go find something else. That guy blows up. The different bats have things on them to signify what they do. The grenade blows up, the shotgun shoots and splits. The regular handgun thing just shoots at you, and the ghost one shoots 3 bullets that kind of disappear. You'll probably see them as we go on. I think that's actually this for this floor. I'm almost certain that this next room is a boss room. Yep. So, we have 1 key. We are going to use it. I do not know what this is, so we're going to read it. It briefly stops time. That is convenient. That is a very good thing to have. Alright, so with bosses, you're going to want to not take any damage, specifically because taking damage ruins your ability to get this thing called a Master Round. Master Rounds increase your maximum health. You're going to want that. And here we have one of the 4-1 bosses. Buff Bird Boy Gatling Gull. Clearly Vulcan Raven, but an actual bird. This boss room is one of, if not the only one, that changes in layout. And some of the layouts like this one can be favorable. Some of them are just absolutely terrible. With this guy, you just kind of want to stay backstrafing him. There's a decent opening in these bullets. You just kind of have to look for the pattern. And again, pay attention to your character, not to the enemy himself. That's kind of hard strats. I could just, you know, dodge roll if I really wanted to. And if I got stressed out, I have both blanks and the ability to stop time and walk into a bullet like an idiot. So we're missing out on that master round because for some reason stopping time screwed up my whole flow. Which is sad, but we should be okay. I feel like so long as you don't get complete garbage luck, you can decently beat this game without ever getting any master rounds. And a lot of people aren't going to get a master round the first time. Okay, so I didn't mention this with the chest earlier, but I'm going to mention it now. You always want to shoot chests and item pedestals before you pick them up, because sometimes they can be mimics and just cause problems. Alright, so we have a synergy. I don't know what it does. So we're going to drop this and shoot it by itself to see what it looks like. Now we're going to pick this up and see if there's any difference. I don't see a difference, so the synergy might apply to the bell itself rather than the trident. We'll do some digging on that later. So we're leaving this floor without opening anything else specifically because we have something important to buy. And I don't want to risk not having enough money to do so. So we're going to break the rest of each chest. Sometimes breaking chests can give you something like, here, interesting. Most of the time, you're just going to get junk. And I mean literally junk. Like the name of the item is junk. But we got lucky. I guess because this is a new game. Oh, another thing to mention. There are secret rooms. They tend to generally follow a pattern. Effectively, a secret room will appear in either the shop or one of these treasure rooms or other special rooms out that isn't like the entrance. Sometimes they'll appear here as well as the little exit place where the boss is. We're going to look around and see if we can find one. They can only be revealed by shooting them with a non-infinite ammo weapon or by just blanking a room. You don't want to shoot in here because he doesn't really like that. The first time he just warns you. The second time he aims a shotgun at you with a psychotic face and doubles all prices. And the third time he just tries to murder the heck out of you. But yeah, as you can see, we managed to find it here in the shop because we had some blanks left over. Normally if we shoot that wall, it'll show the cracks like we saw in the tutorial. But didn't need it. Onward to stage 2. Still kinda salty that I stopped time and ran into a frozen bullet like by a parked car. That's terrible. But it's okay. Alright, so more general basic strats. You're going to want to designate maybe 1 or 2 guns as a boss killing gun, because outside of your infinite ammo gun, all the other guns have limited ammo. And then you typically want your stronger stuff for the bosses so you don't have to deal with that for very long. So, in this case, I'm going to designate the trident and the Uzi for our boss until, you know, maybe something better arises. Now we're going to move on. If there's newer enemies, I'll explain them. That guy is a little jerk that buffs enemies. I believe the red one only buffs one enemy. There's a blue one that buffs, like, all of them. And then there's different versions that do other things of various levels of enemies. And for the people that are watching, that I actively speak to that know who I am, it's better to just message me, because I cannot see these comments. I have to legitimately stop the game to see them. So we're gonna carry on. That's a big bat. Basically, he shoots bouncy bullets, and that little red bandana Rambo bullet guy just shoots a machine gun. Nothing fancy here. When you break the big bat, he turns into smaller bats. Alright, this one, I can't remember the name, but it's actually a annoying little boss helper that we might see later depending on our luck. They'll shoot at you persistently while floating around and will explode when they die. I like the ones that explode when they die because they tend to kill others with them. That's a little bullet shark. It shoots a lot of bullets outside of itself as it dashes at you. Just stare at it and shoot it. They're only a threat if they're starting to dash while you're at the side of them. If they ever get close, you can keep shooting them. That little cube just floats around and craps out a diamond of bullets. Dodge roll through. For the majority of this run, I'm going to use basic guns. If ever there's a time that we get something really broken, I'm going to try not to abuse it unless I need it. Okay, so this here is one of the 4 items we're going to need by the end of the game to unlock the item that we need to get the true endings for these characters. I'll explain more as we go along, but this is why we needed to save all our money in the first stage, because we need 110 to buy this. That item is a great item. Hopefully we can afford it, but we can only have 1 active item at a time unless we have an item that allows us to have 2. The pilot actually does, but we are not the pilot. I might actually take that. As good as time stopping is and will be, we don't necessarily need it, and you might not necessarily get it. It's probably more fair to show you what the run's like without it. And that's the logic I'm going to use to justify giving up a good item. That guy shoots a rifle bullet with a laser sight. You know, you could just sidestep or dodge roll, whatever you feel more comfortable with. I suggest getting used to sidestepping. Yeah, this guy is a jerk. He shoots these triangles, locks up, and then all the triangles shoot at you. But again, they all try to go towards your position, so you use that to predict their path and just casually move out the way. Sometimes you may want to use a blank for it, because sometimes it's ridiculous with how small the rooms are that they give you this guy, but... Oh, that's a dynamite. You kill him, and he blows up. If he gets close enough to you, he will do that same explosion, only towards you. And this is a Blobulon. This is an adorable member of a ruthless alien armada, and is basically an asteroid from asteroids. That's the boss room. We don't want to deal with that yet. I tend to save boss rooms for last just so I can explore. There's more chances of unlocking stuff, getting good treasure chests, etc. Although sometimes, if you have a completely unkillable build already, there's no reason to waste the time. You could fight the boss and then explore later. See, when you play this game for as long as I have, which is pretty much since it came out in, like, I think 2016, if not sooner than that, all this crap starts to look the same. As far as how easy it is, at least on these floors. It gets fun later, but for right now, nah. Alright, so we got another A chest. But instead of opening that, we're gonna look around, because there's a chance that... So, every floor has, at minimum, 2 chests. One chest is always a gun, the other chest is always an item. Table Tech Rage. So what this does is if we flip a table, we get angry, so, like, double damage. But to continue my explanation. One chest is always a gun, one chest is always an item. And sometimes you can just luck out and get 2 A rank chests, or an A and an S rank chest. But we got 1 key. So if the next chest that we find happens to be an S rank, we're gonna want to prioritize that. Now, just because there's a hierarchy doesn't necessarily mean that the items are always objectively ridiculously great for each tier. There are some A rank guns like the gunbow that I don't really care for. and there's like some D rank items that are actually ridiculously good. Like, there's one of them that allows you to summon a table. That is infinitely more effective if you have table tech. Something like the table tech rage that we have that gives us double damage. This here is prisoner. We need a special key to open that door. It will always spawn on the stage you're in somewhere. If it hasn't spawned in any of the regular rooms, then the boss is gonna give it to you. Oh, shotgun full of love. It shoots teddy bears and stars. And hearts. I'll show you how it's useful later, but right now that was the important bit that I wanted to do. And this jerk. This is called the Anaconda. Basically, good luck. He snakes around the room shooting a heck ton of bullets and crap. And also spawns little NPC enemy things that stay stationary, but he can eat them and get a buff. And he can also corner you. And it's just the worst. A lot of this is the worst. A lot of this is getting lucky, but just dodge, stay out the way, get your bullet hell on, because... Ooh! That's new. That's very new. Okay. Alright, so apparently now, when you kill these homeboys, in range, it slows him down? And we're taking advantage of our time stop because, you know, screw him and everything about him. Actually, I think that little time stop might be what happens when you combine the trident with the H bell. Yeah, that seems to be the case. Alright, so we know what that synergy does now. Should probably write that down in the wiki or something. This is the special key that we need to open them up. And, so move ring of triggers, items equal guns? I have no idea what that does. Summons bullet on active item use. Okay, cool. That one seems pretty self-explanatory. Alright, open up. So this here is Ox and Cadence. Basically, they're going to sell you items that you can unlock for future runs with the green money that you see spawning out of all of these bosses that we're killing. There's going to be a lot of NPCs that do that. They are very useful boys and girls. Let me stop using this. Did we find the secret room for this one? Well, we don't have a blank anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. Alright, moving on. Look at the little bullet just jumping into the chambers. Adorbs. Okay. Chamber 3, Black Powder Mine. Another one of the items that we have to unlock is here. I forgot to get that, god dang. Rule of thumb that I keep forgetting to remind myself. Before you leave a floor, check the shop again. Cause that grappling hook would have really helped with what we have to do. But it's all good. Alright, so I'm not sure if I explained the bird, but it shoots eggs. Bullet eggs. And I haven't explained the shotgun full of love yet either, but I will. Also, you can ride it and use ride in these mine carts. And if you ride over certain enemies, it will do damage. Pretty good. So, shotgun full of love charms enemies and makes them fight for you. Pretty sure the status is temporary with the shotgun full. Yep, it's temporary. There are certain items that charm them that last a lot longer, and some of them that are just permanently charmed. but not that funny. Alright, so there we have two enemies we haven't seen yet. The Gunzuki, which is basically a bubble bobble little frog thing, and this buddy boy, who spawns clones and summons bullets from beyond what they call the curtain. I think it's supposed to be beyond the curtain of time and space or some crap. The veil. Whatever. This game has a lot of weird names for its lore items. So this is another Blobulonian army member. Only this one has poison goop. If you stand in poison, you will build up a poison status effect, Dark Souls-ish, and when it builds up to max, you take 1 damage. You can just get out the way, typically. There are some cases where it isn't supposed to do. Oh, that's a fire boy. I don't know his name. So he dashes around and then shoots the circle of fire. You can either just casually walk out the way or dodge roll. And we happen to find a secret room. Awesome. Okay, so there's 2 ways to tell a mimic from a chest. You can either just stand there and wait to see if it slurps or shoot it. We're not going to do any of that. Ah, that's unfortunate. There's actually a synergy with the Master Round, but I think you need the first and the second one to get the synergy with the Alien Sidearm. Because Alien Sidearm is literally the Halo Alien Sidearm. Oh shit. Okay, so some of these rooms start getting hard. That thing is the worst. You cannot kill it, but it will shoot you forever. At least until all the enemies are killed. It is generally considered one of the worst standard enemy trap things. Oh, it's good that the purple board's there. I'll explain this too. And as you can see, that's a robot that shoots lasers in a direction based on its little light. So, that boy gives you curse. See that little skull? That's the skull of curse. You can get up to 10 curse or more in this game. And curse has a couple of status effects. You tend to get more ammo when you have higher curse, but you have a higher chance of enemies being jammed. And how convenient a jammed enemy. That red boy back there is making, I believe, just one particular enemy jammed. A jammed enemy has, I think, double health. Sometimes they're faster, depending on how the enemy attacks. Like if the enemy is just a ramming enemy, they'll be quicker. If they shoot, they tend to be... And they shoot jammed bullets. If a jammed bullet hits you, you lose a full heart instead of a half heart. But you only lose 1 armor piece in either case, so you don't have to worry too much if you have armor protecting you, which is that little blue shield that Marine starts with. But they can be a problem. The higher the curse, the more problems you got, but there's a couple of items, a good number, that actually have beneficial effects the more curse you have. Or a couple of items that give you curse that you're not going to care because the benefits that they give you are too great to ignore. Like Spice. Spice is one of the best things that can ever happen to you in this game. Alright, so there's a lot of things here. We could just keep shooting it with bullets, but I'm getting sick of doing that, so I'm going to murder it. And, you know what? Let me see. I don't need the Uzis. We're going to switch to Uzi and Shotgun of Love for the rest of this. Alright, so that's a rock. Some kind of gunpowder rock, I believe. You shoot it, and then it gets faster and more aggressive. Alright, Table Tech Rocket is hilarious. One of my favorite things in this game. Because you flip a table, and then it just launches off in the direction you flip it, like a rocket. And explodes when it hits someone. It's beautiful. but it's not worth 63 casings, so we're gonna keep pushing. Boss room, not ready for that yet. See if we can find some other shit. Alright, now I'm gonna have him go murder everything else. Okay, so if they're charmed and there's nothing else to murder, they just kind of stand there swooning over your existence. Otherwise, they go for each other when they're charmed. Or they're supposed to. I don't know what's up to say. He's just doing whatever. Woo. Oh, we got hit by that. Oh, this is a shambling round. Tell me if you can guess what it does. Right, it dies. But yeah, I mean, you have to go through each phase and they kind of show themselves to you. There's nothing too fancy, just hide behind cover. And if you can't hide behind cover, just casually walk away. Typically bullets that have like a lot of screen covering typically create some form of opening for you to work around with. Oh cool. So this here is the second thing we need to do in order to get the second item that we're going to need to unlock that bullet. I might take damage here, but you dodge roll into the carts. I dodge roll and mash X out of fear. Don't do that. Clearly mashing X out of fear isn't the right thing to do. So we're gonna see if regular dodge rolling works, and it doesn't. My god, can you tell how long it's been since I've had to do this? Alright, so don't mash. Just time it pretty well. Try not to hurt your own feelings. There you go. Oh, so you can apparently directly dodge roll into all the other ones, just not the first one. That's kind of weird. Can we? Alright. Oh. Okay, so I forgot about that caveat. That's unfortunate. Apparently this thing that we also need is an active item, so we have to give up our good stuff for weak sauce. It's sad. So sad. But we can't sell it, so we just have to pretend it doesn't exist. There's an NPC enemy that shows up called the Resourceful Rat. If you leave an item or a gun in another room and, you know, walk to another room, he will steal your shit. It is depressing. It is a depressing thing to witness. Now, these are 2 C-ranked item chests that we got. We'll try one. Does he have a key? He does not. Alright, so we're just gonna take what we got and move on, see if the boss gives us a key or whatever. This trident seems to be doing a lot of damage, and that time slow thing is amazing, so we're gonna keep that. And I believe the shotgun full of love also does decent damage. Cool. So we got this boy. They found a tank and fired themselves from said tank. Pretty cool. Oh wait, no, we don't have the bell thing anymore. That is a depressing thought. We lost our synergy too. I am sad boy. Basically just walk in a circle and shoot it to death. Occasionally he'll crap out enemies. Also try to shoot them to death if you can. Some of the things he shoots move really fast. You just have to be on your toes, be careful for it. He'll always go in this area and he will occasionally blow up the pillars that you're using for protection. And sometimes the bullets he shoots just last forever and shoot more bullets. We could theoretically use the shotgun full of love on those guys, and we did. I needed to blank there because he was going to get close, and if he gets close. I am not hitting him. I believe the shotgun full of love is doing more damage, so we're going to keep doing that. Hopefully we get this master round, get some synergy with the alien sidearm, hopefully. But, this boy is hard boy, and I did not see that guy there, so we're not getting it. How bad. That's alright, he's done. That's a really good gun, though. Alright. We got the Stinger. Everybody who's played Metal Gear Solid at least probably knows some of this. We only have one key left. It's not worth it on a blue chest. We might get an S-rank chest in the next room. Or the next floor, whatever. Check the shop, make sure there's nothing that you want. Can't use that. I'll go to the next floor. Alright, onward. So this is halfway through the game. It gets, there's kind of a bit of a difficulty spike on the 4th floor. Because all of a sudden you get a whole bunch of enemy types that you haven't seen before. They all generally work the same way, but a lot of them have more spread attacks and they're just smarter. I think I'll stick with Colt 45 and this thing. I might need the other weapons with GPS. I'm not sure if we saw Spider Boy before, because I've done a lot of these runs today. Spider Boy shoots out spider webs and bullets in a spider web shape. I hate his guts. The first time he showed up, he scared the Christ out of me. But neat thing, his webs actually catch fire. That's pretty cool. That little tombstone guy, he just walks towards you and shoots 2 and then 3 bullets in a spray. That right there is a gun reaper, I believe they call it. You can't kill him. You can only dodge and attempt to ignore him. He tends to stay towards the center of the screen and just throw those homing things at you. Just casually walk about it. I'm gonna flip this table, block that shot, and get rage up. And then we're gonna flip that table and get rage up. And miss all of these shots. I'm not sure if we saw these guys either. I don't think they spawn in the early floors, but basically they just kind of create astral projections and shoot the bullets in the circle. This guy creates minions out of bullets. They'll either rush at you with a knife, shoot magic, and actually that's it, and then they all follow you. The knife ones are a little more relentless, the magic ones are kind of gentle, but same crap. That guy sacrificed all of your health for, well, not all of it, but, you know, just take some hits if you have to, but that guy, what he'll do is that he'll run through a wall and try to disappear. If you kill him before he can, you get a key. And as you can tell from this run so far, keys are kind of rare. That guy walks towards you shooting that giant vomit of bullets and then laser beams from his eyes. You could just, you know, dodge the laser. When you hit him enough, he turns into a head. If you don't kill that fast enough, he will respawn. Oh my god. Oh yeah, another key note. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before. Don't use blanks until the boss. Just take the hit. You'll be okay. Now, remember that guy earlier that was buffing one of them? There's the daddy that's buffing all of them. It's annoying. But if you get close enough or hit him, he'll stop. And I'm not the bitch he is. Where he at? Oh no, he's dead. Oh, this is actually a good time to talk about this. There's a bunch of bullets that are like this with different colorations and stuff. They're veterans. As you can see, he was trying to shoot where I was going. And if I kept walking there, it would have murdered me. Or, you know, just hit me. So you just kind of bob and weave. Oh my. Oh my. Please stop. Oh, how many of you are there? Oh, by the way, pushing these guys into pits is definitely a trap. If they move when you shoot them with them. Some of them do not. So yeah, like Halo, we got the alien side on here. Charging, shooting. There's a bunch of weapons in this game that do this. Some of them are better than others, like the Mega Hand and the Heroin, which is literally just Samus's arm cannon that charges 3 levels and does ridiculous damage on the 3rd level. And typically all charged bullet weapons, well, a majority of charged weapons that shoot a overpowered version of the regular bullets, and then cost 1 bullet, so it's always beneficial to target. Blue Boy clearly shoots a gigantic blue ring of bullets. You can either dodge it like I did there, where I jumped through the hoops because I had no time to react, or just straight hit. I wanted to make sure one of them died, because having them both shoot would be unideal. That's an active item. Eventually you learn what's active and what's not. We can't have active items because we're holding onto this crap that we unfortunately need. I think this one actually heals up Curse. Oh, cool. We have a gun muncher. We're gonna use this guy. What this boy does is each guns, whichever one you are holding, and then gives you a new gun in return. It's anywhere between the ranks of the guns that you feed him. So if you give him 2 S guns, you're gonna get an S gun in return. If you get an S and a D gun, you can get literally any of the guns in the game. I'm not entirely sure the rankings of the guns that I just gave him. I typically use the wiki for that. So here's the room for the 3rd item we need. And this is why we need a character with bullet casings. All my Dark Souls peeps out here. Ever play Dark Souls 1 and go through that place with the crystals where you have to fight that damn dragon? This is literally that. You are shooting these bullets to find out where the path is. Depending on where you aim is where the casings crap out from. And the path, it's not narrow per se, but it's not wide either. And I don't remember exactly how the path goes, I'm just kind of inferring from the logic where I should be shooting the gun at. So this part is going to take a while. They always have to make these paths so easy. Now, the first time I played this game, my dumbass thought that this was just a giant empty cavern and I needed to luck out and get an item that lets me ignore these things, but no, you can get them all on the first run with the starting equipment. You know what, that should be close enough. Cool. We got it. That is item number 3 of 4 to unlock this damn bullet. Once you unlock this bullet, you never have to do this again. It's just the first time. This is a gun that we got. It's not very strong, but it has 1,000 bullets. So we can kind of just waste the bullets here. You never want to use this one for a boss fight, but it has its use for some ad clearing. I think we want more of this. Although we do have the stinger as well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I believe the Uzi is more powerful than the stupid little cactus trap. I have not tested these, and I know the wiki has damage values, but I'm not pulling that up right now. Casually walk past all that crap. I find sometimes that it helps me focus on dodging bullets if I'm not holding a direction and a button, feeling the vibrations on the control stick. I don't know why, it just becomes a puzzle game to me if I'm not shooting things. Might help you out if you need to find some way to zen focus through some crap, which we might definitely need for the floor 4 boss. Wow, that sounded kind of weird. So you can't see this, but I actually physically jumped there because for some reason my brain got worried when we shot that off, as if I didn't just dodge a million of these throughout the course of this game. So we have a lot of keys, right? Very good stuff, very helpful. But as the game goes on, you will eventually unlock NPCs that actually take keys for turns. And some of the absolute best items that you can possibly get in this game are sold by this guy for 3 keys. Oh, we have a shrine here. That little pillar of fire, if it's green, it means it's a shrine. If it's purple, it means it's either a vendor NPC or a gun muncher. Usually good to come here just for moments of respite. This little guy, he just gives you 3 glass guanstones for free. These things will block shot for you. But if you get hit, they're gone. The glass ones anyway. There's other ones that are better, and I get hit immediately. Why does this happen to me so often? And we're out of Uzi. It's alright. See, the Gungeon, a lot of people say it's super hard and all that crap. I've made a bunch of basic ass mistakes. And we're still doing okay. In fact, we should be perfectly fine for the final boss, actually. I like how it's telling me I unlocked the item that I just used. Thanks, game. And hey look, a brown chest. Something nobody ever needs ever. Although I could... Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay, so... I'm upset that we got him so late. But eventually breaking a chest will give you this boy. His name is Sir Junkin. He is one of the best assist NPC helper things that you could possibly get in the entire game. The more junk you have, the stronger he gets. There is a point where it is just straight up recommended to just, if you have them, start breaking chests for junk. If you have 6 additional pieces of junk, he will jump at you and use blanks, and if you die, he will sacrifice himself to give you extra health. It's amazing. He's amazing. He's just one of the best. And I honestly wish I had more junk. I'm kind of upset because we're almost at the end. This is depressing, but it's alright. Alright, we're at the boss room. One of the bosses that we could possibly get is actually pretty manageable. Not very bad in any sense of the word. The other two are pretty terrible. This is one of the terrible ones. He has a wall. If you get to the end of the stage, you will die. That's kind of rare though. You can typically kill him with your starting gun without getting to the end, but it's just all the god dang bullets. And this is kind of what you're supposed to do. Just stand at the end, and apparently reloading this is erasing shots. That's good to know. I was not aware of that. Oh my. Oh my. So as you can see, I'm starting to die. You don't want to die. Dying makes you feel bad, and effectively makes all of the crap that I work to get used. So we're gonna start using the blanks. That's all of them. And now Sir Junkin is doing his best, but his best really isn't very good until you give him more junk. I absolutely hate this guy. He is one of the worst bosses for me. Alright. Shot bow. A teleporter accident gave a bow shotgun properties. How beautiful. Alright, so I'm gonna look for some more secret rooms because I can use any help I can get right now. Because there's a decent chance that I'm not getting anything else, like no other hearts or anything like that. So on the off chance that that does occur, we're gonna actually buy some armor. And this Glomstone. Just because we want to be that safe. Alright, this is gonna be the final floor for most people. Actually, this is the final floor for a brand new game run. You're not gonna see anything else besides this. This is also where we get our fourth and final piece for this super bullet. And we may actually see this guy's past, which would be awesome. Okay, so the fifth floor is clearly going to be the hardest one, and I am not doing too well in terms of hearts. Alright, so right off the gate we have crap that we don't want to deal with. That guy is jamming people. That's a bigger shark boy that, you know, acts as you'd expect. This guy, he will grab your bullets as he's doing that circle thing and throw them back at you in a line. This guy! Damn it. Alright. Oh, but we got Daruma for it. Alright, you know what? We're good. We're good. Daruma, as an item, is one of, if not the best item in the game. But what that guy does is he just teleports you back to the beginning of the stage. I'm not sure if it's just the beginning or a few rooms back, because I haven't ever really encountered and got caught by him later on in a run. It's usually just the first couple of rooms. But it's annoying. It's very annoying. Luckily, after the first time, he won't show up again. Not in the same room anyway. That guy is just a shotgun dude. He's just like the other ones, only he shoots like a volley of 3 instead of a volley of 2. Oh crap. Yeah, see, you don't want that to happen. By the way, if they're charmed, the bullets can still absolutely hurt you. I am hoping Papa Death doesn't come at me, because I would be salty. You might actually have to use a few blanks because there's too much jamming going on. that boy, he gets pissed when you shoot him, and then he runs to try and myrtle you afterwards. Too rough. A lot of the times you see me using the dodge roll to just move left or right, just so I can clear the path of them bullets. You gotta be careful. Those little red things on the sides create little fire furnaces if they're shot. That can absolutely damage you. Yeah, I don't want that. Oh. Alright, so you couldn't see it, but there was actually a blacker version of that red cube, like a blue one. And he shoots in the same pattern, only he stops after a certain distance and retracts the bullets back into him. Oh my. And now we have no bullets for the final boss. So the final boss is going to be an interesting fight. And by interesting, I mean there is a very, very good chance that I will die at it. But it's okay. We will do our best. We're opening this immediately. Light gun is something of a savior. This is literally the light gun from the NES. You keep shooting things and it'll spawn a duck from Duck Hunt. Alright. I'm getting more and more worried, so I'm going to use stronger and stronger weapons. I think instead I'll use this. Tough decision, because I'm gonna need to fight this boss. It's gonna have to happen. You know what? I'll use the light gun for this area, and the shot bow. Light gun's a pretty good weapon. Most laser weapons are pretty decent, especially since a lot of them have an auxiliary effect. So we're trying to find the shop on this floor for a couple of reasons. One of them being I am decently scared right now with the resources I've got for this fight. Final boss isn't particularly that difficult. I actually find the wall that we just fought a little more tough to deal with. But based on how lucky you are, it could be pretty tough. Especially since we don't have anything with high DPS, and we also don't have any blanks, because I panic used them earlier. Alright, so one of these annoying assholes summons the golden skeletal bastard. We're just gonna have to point in the general direction of the bullets and hope that things die. It's kind of hard to see where everything is. So that black guy is the one that summons the gold boy. If you kill him, it actually instantly puts gold boy into head mode. But as you can see, they decided that they were going to spawn enemies right after, so we can't even capitalize. How wonderful. Oh crap. And we're getting hit. This is bad. This is bad. I did not see that guy on the furnace. I thought he was just a part of the furnace. That's annoying. Please die. Thank you. Oh god. Alright. That is obviously the boss room icon, but it's behind a regular door, which means that there's a mini-boss in that room. I don't know who it is, but he's also in the way of me getting the next chest. So we're doing it with it. Alright. I don't know his name. I am not in the mood to find out right now. I just want him to be dead. Oh lord. Oh lord. This guy is pretty new, so I don't quite have as much of a strategy. I feel like I'm getting pretty lucky. Please, please, please stop existing. I don't think we can... Actually, no, this is a mini-boss. You can't get him out. Just die, just die, just please, just... Oh, thank God. Alright. So we got a heart. That's good. We got ammo for this. That's great. We got a chest. Another heart piece. And a regular ass crossbow. So you know what? We are slightly better off than we started because of this fight. That's great. We're gonna take the W and move on. Oh, and we're here. Cool. This lady is the blacksmith. She is very useful. She has bad news. The gun that kills the past needs ammunition. Otherwise, would stop time here. That's old magic. If you find the gun, it will fire, but how far back will you go? The answer to that question is, if you don't have the bullet, you just go back to the breach. You need the bullet that can kill the past. We have 3 of the 4 items that we need. So we're just going to give them to her now, because we don't need to hold on to this crap. And now we have the one more that we need. She is not like the regular shopkeep, and she replaces the regular shopkeep on the 5th floor. She does not appear on the floor at all. She sells 3 items on this side, and, like, you know, collectibles, consumables, pickups, and 3 actual items. They could be active, they could be weapons, whatever. We're gonna get the Lichy trigger finger, because rate of fire up means DPS up, and we can use whatever bandages we can get right now. Alright, onward. Alright, we have another heart, so we're full health, that's good. That's the boss room, we're not doing that right now. We're gonna go look around, see what kind of chest we can find. Oh man, I actually legitimately fell for that. Oh, so that's a red one. He's just like the green ones. Only shoots 4 instead of 1. A couple of enemies just have buff versions of themselves running around on the lower floors. Because this game hates you and everything about you. But it can also love you and make everything about the game. It depends on your luck. RNG. Play the RNGs. Again, you can still absolutely beat this game with your base gun. You just need to have the skills to make up for the lack of luck. And right now, I don't think I have that, so we're gonna go find the RNG gods and pray to them. We're gonna take this. Muscle relaxant? I don't know what that does. Greatly increases accuracy. So that spread is greatly minimized, thus increasing the overall damage of this weapon. That's pretty good. Alright, so some floors just straight up don't have secret rooms. Oftentimes, the floor that doesn't will be this one. I believe we have reached the end of our luck. And now we're gonna try to take on the final boss with no blanks. Fantastic. Fantastic. So let's see what we got. We have a gun with no ammo. This gun is decent. This gun is decent. We should be okay with these two. Alright. Let's do it. Final boss. Pray to all of your base gods because I'm not sure how good I am at the current time. Alright. I'll explain each attack as he goes through them. For this attack, he's going to shoot the spread. Just stay in this corner here. You can dodge it. No big D. Dodge roll through that one. This one, I like to stay in the center at the bottom. You can see them as they're coming. If they're going to hit you, dodge roll through. He summons these things, and it's literally one of the worst attacks that he has. If not the worst. This reflector one, you kind of stay in the same area as the last attack. Whenever the knives are there, I focus on the knives. With this attack, he shoots that rocket at the wall, and then big explosion, dodge roll. Start doing this because I think the bees are going to do more damage. These particular types of projectiles can be destroyed by shooting it, but they will chase you relentlessly. This one, you can just look at the openings and get out the way. I tend to like to stay in this particular corner because it tends to. I love how Sir Duncan is over there just doing his stuff. Always focus on the knives. As soon as they show up, just make your priority to kill them because they're the only thing that in this particular fight has no particular set time frame. So it kind of throws off the timings and the ability to dodge all of the attacks. If I had the two blanks that we started the floor with, I probably would not have taken any damage here, but it's alright. You do get something for beating the game with all 5 master rounds, but it just depends on your RNG. And now he's in, you know, desperation mode. Just dodge roll through the circles. Try not to take damage. It's actually a lot easier than it looks. I am a little bit panicky. There's also a thing that happens, again, with a lot of bullets on the screen where the game kind of slows down a little bit. I'm on PS4 Pro, and it's still doing this. It can't handle too much of all the hype crap that happens. Do you have anything good? Shotgun, probably. We'll stick to that. We'll stick to the shot bow and the stinger for this last part here. If you wanted to, I suppose you can do some cheeky crap like that and then dodge roll. There is a little bit of a startup time to it actually slowing down time, but if it helps you, then it helps you. Basically, just keep doing this and shooting the heart until it dies. It's almost dead, but you know. I need to go through this one more time. So we pretty much got no master rounds. Stanger played it. Wow. Okay, cool. The bees came through. Alright. We have officially killed the High Dragon. And we got Gun Soul. And we missed. Blow up his head. And that is the last piece of the bullet that can kill the past. I'm gonna go to old homegirl here. We actually don't need the heart. Give her that. He gets happy, starts banging on an actual weapon you can get in the game. You unlock alpha bullets, and I think omega bullets at the same time for it. Yep. And now we have the bullet that can kill the past. So we beat the regular final boss. Now we are going to beat the character-specific final boss. There are 4 of them. Well, 1 for each character, basically. We're gonna get the final boss with the Marine. So walk up this astral plane, open the fancy chests, and yes, a Tom and Jerry shotgun, when he puts it through the mouse hole and ends up going into his own face, is the gun that can kill the past. Aim and shoot it yourself. If we didn't have that bullet that we managed to get in the very first run, by the way, this is a fresh save file. If we didn't happen to get that bullet, we would not be able to go to the past, and that would be the end of the run there. But we did. I gotta go towards the lab. I can't run away this time. Every character in here is trying to change some aspect of their past. And all pasts work generally the same. You have 3 hearts, 2 blanks. You have the keys and the casing that you have, but they're not going to be of any use. You typically have a different weapon, and you may have some different passive items on you as well. This one, he just has the military training that he had, and that's it. Oh, it's you. Didn't expect to see you again. Something went wrong during the test. Something came out of the opening. The escape pods are just down the hall. Save yourself, you're good at that. So, how this works is, the bottom option is the option they actually chose, that they regretted, and the top option is how they're going to change the past. That old boy, he needs something. Get the Visine. Alright, so here we are. We have our Marine buddies, and now this is our boss for his past. Interdimensional horror. The Marine has one of the easier pasts to deal with, and also the Marine is based on the Doom Marine, as told from this demonic thing. You can just kind of sidestep and move out the way. Your Marines will actually help you. They will fire the gun bullets that they're shooting, actually do damage to the boss. And you can just use the machine gun for the whole of this fight. There's nothing too particularly hard here. Kind of bob and weave these, sidestep that. And he summons actual helpers, because of course he does. But again, your Marines will help you too. It's kind of sporadic when they do shoot, but they can do some damage. Now, the interdimensional horror does like to go to different locations. I tend to just wait over here until I can see him and then shoot him from there. I don't like to move too much. When he changes the screen like that, and you stand in those red, orange, glowy spots, they will basically act as poison damage, so you gotta not be in there for too long or else you take damage. And you do still have 2 blanks, so if you need them, use them. There's no reason to hold on to them. See, my brain pressed the dodge roll button, but my body just did not follow. I mean, I still have 200 bullets. I'm thinking I'm running out. When the enemies come in a fight in general, focus on getting rid of them. Because again, the last boss pattern is also have to deal with regular enemies. They will throw off your whole dodge game. I'm sure you guys saw that last time with the goddamn knife. And I dodged into a bullet. Just to cap it off. You unlock an item for every pass you kill that pertains to the character, and one of the items that the character actually held becomes unlockable for the rest to use. Well, if they find it. Really save the day, Cadet. We're still alive because of you. Well, except for the guy in the hallway. He definitely died. I didn't think you'd have it in you. Boy, was I wrong. Think of what would have happened if you hadn't contained him here. You're a hero. He has successfully killed his past. But the Gungeon forces him back. Even after you kill the past, the Gungeon remains, and they remain trapped in here. Every time they die, they just go back to the beginning. They cannot escape. Yeah, killed by nobody, we did great. And that's Enter the Gungeon. The first basic run of the game, we managed to get the bullet, we managed to kill the past. The next thing we want to do is just kill the past for the other characters, and then start opening up a lot more of the game. But that's the basics of how to play the game. You just strafe, dodge, get lucky, murder things. Nothing too particularly difficult. It can be hard. You get used to it after a while. And also we now have a shrine to this great bullet that we have created. And that NPC is a drunk guy that'll tell you all about a lot of the lore. He'll tell you lore about the bosses and everything. These two homies that we saved are now here. They basically unlock new things to use in the game. So now we can find the Thompson, Heart Bottle, Gamma Ray, etc, etc, etc. We can find these as we go through the Gungeon. With those little money things that you see at the top right. There will be, as you play the game, more NPCs that sell more crap. But that's it for now. That's basically our run. Alright. Hope you enjoyed the video, learned something. Definitely give the game a shot. It's a ton of fun. Especially when you get the god rolls and you just steamroll through the entire game. But that's going to be it for now. Alright, take care, y'all. Peace.